Have you ever had that feeling, where someone seems really charming, totally sincere, but deep down, something just feels a bit off?
Oh, definitely. Like their words promise one thing, maybe freedom, but you sense there's something else going on underneath.
Exactly. It's something we all grapple with, right? Trying to sort through all the noise, figure out who's genuine and who might be, well, manipulating things.
It's a real challenge in today's world.
And that's precisely what we're digging into today on the Deep Dive. We've got a unique guide tailored just for you. Today, our Deep Dive takes us into a really old text, but one with some surprisingly sharp insights for right now, the biblical book of Jude.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to look at some key bits based on a detailed study to really unpack its main message. What does it actually mean to contend for the faith which was once delivered to the saints?
Right.
And specifically, we'll focus on these two groups Jude warns about, sometimes called filthy dreamers and fierce despisers.
Yeah, it sounds ancient, but honestly, the wisdom in Jude,
Yeah.
it's incredibly relevant. It's not just history.
No, it's more like a blueprint, really, for discerning truth, seeing threats to, core beliefs, and understanding why integrity matters so much in leadership, sure, but also personally, even today. And this study we're looking at, it makes a pretty bold claim right up front. It says separation is necessary from these dreamers and despisers to secure and preserve the faith.
Okay, separation. That sounds strong. Let's unpack this then. Who exactly are these filthy dreamers and fierce despisers, and why is dealing with them or separating from them apparently so important?
All right, let's start with the filthy dreamers. Jude describes them, let me get the phrasing right, as people who defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities.
Okay, break that down a bit. Defile the flesh.
So basically, they corrupt moral or spiritual purity. Despise dominion, that means rejecting legitimate authority. And speak evil of dignities, that's, slandering or disrespecting leaders.
Yeah. The study suggests their real aim is to kind of infiltrate and undermine, whether it's a church, an organization, any community, really. They want to corrupt its core values and take apart its leadership structure.
Wow. So it's not just like a quiet disagreement.
Yeah.
They're actively trying to sabotage the whole thing.
That seems to be the idea, yeah. And that rejection of authority, the despising dominion part, it's presented as deliberate. It stops leaders from, upholding the group's truths and values.
Okay, and this is where it gets tricky, right? Because they aren't always obvious.
Exactly. And here's the really subtle part the study warns. I'm quoting here. They will look nice, smiling, and talk in the language that will suit you.
So they can be charming. Deceptive.
Very deceptive. They might seem like they're completely on your side. It's not always about open conflict. It's often this insidious kind of infiltration.
Like false prophets.
The study uses that language, yes.
Yeah.
It says they speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord, meaning they're driven by their own stuff, their own desires, their own distorted ideas, not established truths.
Okay.
And they often steer clear of things like accountability or, genuine moral standards. Instead, they promote this kind of warped version of grace.
How so?
Well, the study says it accommodates all sinfulness and makes you weak in the grace of God. It sounds appealing, but it waters things down.
So it sounds good, looks good, feels good, but it's a trap. Like that line from the study, they promise you liberty, but they are leading you into bondage.
That sums it up perfectly. It's a mirage.
Yeah.
And Jude uses some really vivid pictures to get this across. He calls them spots in your feasts of charity, like a stain ruining a shared meal, polluting the fellowship.
Powerful image.
Yeah, or clouds without water, promising rain but giving nothing, or wandering stars. You think they're guiding you, but they lead you off course into the blackness of darkness forever.
That's pretty intense imagery.
It really is. It's a stark warning about where following these deceptive paths can lead. And, you see these patterns throughout history, even in the Bible.
Like who?
Well, think of Absalom, driven by ambition, dreaming of taking his father David's throne. Or Nimrod, dreaming of building that tower to reach heaven.
Right, the Tower of Babel.
Exactly. These are like classic examples of personal dreams that go wrong. Dreams that, as the study puts it, can blindfold you to the plan and purpose of God.
Okay, so that imagery makes the danger really clear. These dreamers dilute and distort. So what's the truth they're distorting? What are we supposed to be holding on to?
That brings us to what the study calls this flawless doctrine.
Flawless doctrine. What does that mean here?
It points to the core foundational truth in this context, Christ's word as being continually flawless and perfect. The idea is there's nothing to correct or change in it.
Okay, so there's this core truth, but how do we engage with it? It's not just about knowing it exists, right?
No, absolutely not. The study really emphasizes that it's not enough just to hear it. We're meant to meditate on it, chew the word, and make it applicable in our lives.
Chew the word. I like that. Make it part of you.
Exactly. Let it actually shape your character, your lifestyle. And it makes this really profound point. Your life must come first before the ministry.
So personal integrity before public roles.
Precisely. Your ethical life, how you actually live, that's the foundation. It's paramount before any kind of service or leadership.
That really puts the focus on authenticity, doesn't it? Character over just performance.
It does. And the study adds a pretty direct warning, too, that if you end up supporting those who spread false teachings, you actually become a partaker of their evil deeds.
Ooh, so complicity is a real danger.
It seems so. Now, should we shift to the other group? The fierce despisers.
Yeah, let's do that. So if the dreamers are subtle, how are the despisers different?
Well, they seem to be characterized more by open defiance, active opposition. The study urges boldness here to explicitly caution and confine them.
Confine them. That sounds serious.
It does. It says we shouldn't be timid about it, because if we are, we will lose everything. These despisers are described as daring, driven by the spirit of direct challenge. Kind of like Satan's defiance against God is the analogy used.
Okay, so open rebellion.
Yeah, they openly reject established authority, established truths. Think of figures like Dathan, Korah, and Abram in the Old Testament who defied Moses.
Right, and faced pretty severe consequences.
Exactly. So these despisers, they don't just dream their own way. They actively dispute and argue against what's established as true.
So they're not whispering doubts. They're out there arguing, confronting, trying to tear things down publicly.
That seems to be the picture. And it apparently affects their whole life. The studies suggest they cannot live righteously privately because they despise the word of God that should cleanse and keep them pure.
Interesting. So the outward defiance reflects an inner rejection of, like, a moral compass.
That's the implication, a rejection of self-governance based on those core truths.
And how does the example of Michael the Archangel fit into this?
Right. That's a fascinating contrast. So the story goes, when Michael was disputing with the devil about Moses' body, he durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, "The Lord rebuke thee."
Meaning
he didn't resort to malicious abusive insults, even against the ultimate evil figure. He maintained a level of, well, dignity and relied on divine authority.
Wow. Okay.
This is a stark contrast, this study points out, to these despisers who speak evil of those things which they know not. They just lash out without understanding.
So it's drawing a line between principled confrontation, even strong confrontation, and just unrestrained malicious slander.
Exactly. Especially when dealing with, negative or opposing forces, it really highlights the importance of maintaining your own integrity, even in conflict.
That's a really powerful distinction. Okay, so we've looked at these dreamers, these despisers, the importance of core truth, personal integrity. What does all this ancient wisdom mean for us, like practically, today?
Well, the study is very clear on this. It says, earnestly contending for the faith is not just for our general superintendent or our overseers. It is for every believer.
So it's not just a leadership job. It's for everyone.
It's a universal call, yeah. For each of us to uphold what we believe is true, to navigate these kinds of challenges, and to live with purpose.
Okay.
And that leads to another really critical point the study makes, the need for self-reflection, for earnestly considering and correcting our own fundamental defections. Meaning when we see others going astray, acting deceptively, it should actually prompt us to look inward, to honestly ask, where are my own dreams, my own aspirations leading me? Are they aligned with truth, or are they maybe blinding me?
That makes sense. It turns the focus back on ourselves, which connects to that really powerful question in the study, doesn't it? If you gain the whole world and lose eternity, where will you spend eternity?
Precisely. It cuts right to the core of our priorities, what really matters in the long run.
Yeah.
And the danger often isn't just external threats. It can be internal. It's about denying divine truth for personal dreams, or the destructiveness in diluting divine truth with pursued dreams.
So when our own ambitions cause us to bend the truth.
Exactly. When personal desires or maybe flawed visions lead people to, as the study says, replace the truth with false teachings, diluting the truth of God's word, adding and subtracting. The only truly fulfilling vision, this ancient text seems to suggest, is one that aligns with something bigger than just ourselves, with universal good, with shared purpose.
Okay, so let's try and pull these threads together. This deep dive into Jude, it's really a potent call for vigilance, isn't it?
I think so, yes. Vigilance and discernment.
Yeah, discernment about those who would defile the flesh, compromise moral purity.
Right, and those who despise dominion,
Yeah.
rejecting legitimate authority.
And those who speak evil of dignities, slandering leadership, people trying to corrupt things from the inside.
That's really the core warning, isn't it? And remember how subtle they can be, looking nice, smiling, saying the right things.
Right, that quote. They promise you liberty, but they are leading you into bondage. It really sticks with you.
It does. It highlights how deceptive these influences can be.
And it really reinforces that idea of dedicating ourselves to foundational truths, that flawless doctrine concept.
And constantly checking ourselves, right? Making sure our own dreams aren't blinding us.
And that crucial point, your life must come first, before the ministry. Living it out, not just talking it. Meditating on it, chewing the word.
Making it applicable. Absolutely.
Right.
And you can't forget those images Jude uses for the consequences.
The clouds without water, wandering stars.
Yeah. It's a serious warning. If personal ambition distorts your view of God's plan or purpose, the text implies serious lasting consequences. Damnation, even, is the word used for forsaking God for filthy dreams.
And then there's that powerful contrast with Michael the Archangel.
Yes. Not stooping to nasty insults, even against the devil, standing apart from those who just speak evil of those things which they know not. It shows that strength doesn't require losing your integrity.
Right. Restraint can be powerful.
Ultimately, the call to action here seems pretty clear and universal. Earnestly contending for the faith is for every believer.
Not just the leaders.
Not just the leaders.
Yeah.
And there's this sense of endurance, too. The study suggests that the church, representing truth and purpose, will abide long after these filthy dreamers are gone, because it's founded on something stronger, the sacrifice of Christ, the blood of the Lamb.
That's a powerful closing thought from the source. So building on that question, it asks, if you gain the whole world and lose eternity, where will you spend eternity? Maybe the challenge for you listening is this. What foundational truths, what core values in your own life, personal, professional, maybe spiritual, are you actively contending for right now? And thinking about Jude, how are you discerning those subtle influences or maybe even those direct challenges that might be trying to undermine them?
That's a great question to reflect on.
Yeah. We definitely encourage you to think about these themes: discernment, leadership, personal integrity in your own context, and maybe even check out the source material for a deeper dive yourself.